Well, a very good morning and welcome to Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. Today is the 15th day of the month of July 2025, and it's just coming up to 3:30 a.m. I say good morning and welcome to the live broadcast from the Koiki Media studio this morning. Mo kí gbogbo yín olólùfẹ́ wa káàkiri gbogbo ibi tí ẹ bá ti ń láǹfààní àti gbọ́ wa kétékété. Mo kí ọmọdé, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àgbàlagbà. Mo kí wa pé a kú ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbìyànjú lórí self-determination, the inalienable right of gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nílé àti ní ẹ̀yìn odi. Bí ẹ ti ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, mo fẹ́ kí ẹ bá wa máa pín ètò náà torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ohun tí ó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà ó jẹ́ kí a máa keep àwọn èèyàn wa up to date pẹ̀lú oríṣiríṣi tó ń lọ. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ti ṣe mọ̀ lórí ìkànnì wa níbí báyìí, iṣẹ́ tí Ọlọ́run gbé lé wa lọ́wọ́ òun náà ni pé ká máa polongo fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá àti fún àwọn tí wọ́n gbàgbọ́ for the many insecurity to play out nínú Nàìjíríà láti many years títí dìgbà tí Buhari tó fi wà ní orí oyè. Gbogbo wa la mọ̀ pé the Fulani man tí wọ́n ń pè ní Muhammadu Buhari, a gbọ́ láìpẹ́ pé he died here in London, and mo fẹ́ kí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa máa rántí the crime against humanity that Buhari committed kó tó di pé ó kú. So tí a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá against àwọn ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire, mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ká máa rántí many of the atrocities tí wọ́n ti commit lórí àwa ọmọ Yorùbá àti àwọn ọmọ tí à ń pè ní ọmọ Oòduà. All these atrocities has gone on for too long. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fáwọn tí wọ́n ṣì ń doubt pé this is the best time for us now to exit Nigeria peacefully as quickly as possible so that kí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa kí a lè ní a future and a better life tí a lè máa pè ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àwa láwọn tí wọ́n ń bá wa ṣe káràmásìkí pé kí àwa ọmọ Yorùbá kí a lè gbégbé ayé tó dáa. Àwọn náà ni àwọn bàbá wa tí à ń pè ní the Emeritus Professor Adebanji Akintoye, tí wọ́n dìde lórí pé ìyà tí ọmọ Yorùbá ń jẹ nínú Nàìjíríà lénìí kò ń ṣe tí a lè continue if we need to have a better life. So option tí ó wà ní pé kí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ká gbéra ńlẹ̀ ká tètè exit Nigeria. Nínú ìrìn àjò náà ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní about 2025 nígbà tí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ campaign wa for the right to self-determination tí gbogbo èèyàn dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni, is an inalienable right, and that right òun náà ni a fi ń ṣe campaign tá ń pè ní Yorùbá Nation lénìí. Mo dẹ̀ rò pé níbì kankan lágbàáyé self-determination offense ni fún àwọn tó bá ń polongo ẹ̀, àti pé kí làwọn ìdí tá ṣe ń pariwo pé a fẹ́ dá dúró, torí pé kò sí ààbò fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, kò sí ààbò fún ọmọdé, kò sí ààbò fún àgbàlagbà. Gbogbo eléyìí ni a ṣe dìde pẹ̀lú bàbá wa Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè pé kí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kí a dá dúró, ká ní country tiwa tó ń pè ní Yorùbá country, tí a lè máa ṣe ààbò àti security fúnra wa. Nígbà tí ìrìn àjò yẹn bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní 2019, ìrìn àjò yẹn gbé wa lọ sí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ibi tí a fẹ́. A bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe campaign yẹn. Láàárín campaign yẹn náà ni Ọlọ́run wá fi ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà tí ó fi jíǹkẹ́ wa tá ń pè ní Sunday Adéyẹmọ, tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho. Ta ni Sunday Igboho àti pé irú èèyàn wo ni? Gbogbo wa náà la mọ ibi tí Sunday Igboho ti ṣẹ̀ wá. Gbogbo wa náà la mọrú èèyàn tí Sunday Igboho jẹ́ ní àwùjọ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Nígbà tí bàbá wa Akíntóyè tí wọ́n ní kò sí ààbò fún wa, àti pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa wọn ò láǹfààní láti lọ sí oko láti lọ dá oko, àti pé kí la máa ṣe. Láàárín méjì ẹ̀, bàbá wa olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ, èní lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí á máa jẹ́ the 15th of July 2025 tó tún bọ́ sí day 34 nínú Yorùbá Nation self-determination struggle tí a gbé dání. Bàbá wa olóyè Ìgbòho wọ́n dìde. In tó gbé wọn dìde gbogbo wa náà ni a ti mọ̀, but ó dáa kí a tún máa ṣe ìrántí kí ni ìdí tí olóyè fi dìde, torí ó níbi tá fẹ́ lọ láàárọ̀ yìí. Mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ mọ ibi tá ti ń bọ̀ ká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú níbi tá ń lọ, torí pé àwọn kan ti jáde nísìn, wọ́n ń sọ pé Buhari ò mọ̀ nípa ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí olóyè, ìyẹn ní July 1st 2021, nígbà táwọn military, DSS àti sójà àtọlọ́pàá tíjọba ránṣẹ́ pé kó lọ pa Ìgbòho sílé. Àmọ́ ẹni tó jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ Buhari tó súnmọ́ pẹ́kípẹ́kí ó ti jáde o, ó sọ̀rọ̀. In tó sọ màá bọ̀ láti wá fún yín. What has he said? I'm talking about Pastor Tunde Bakare. I'll be explaining that to us in just about a few minutes. But I want us to play back to how Igboho responded to the many killings and the death of innocent Yoruba tó ń bẹ ní gbogbo Ìgàngán àti àwọn other states ní ìpínlẹ̀ southwest part of Nigeria. And we have this video that Igboho spoke in 2021 after he was preparing to go to Ìgàngán láti lọ sọ fún Sẹ́ríkí pé mo ti fún ẹ ní 7 days to exit Yoruba land because àtijọ́ ń gbé tẹ́lẹ̀, But it seems now that gbígbé yẹn kò lè possible mọ́. Let's listen to this.
ń dá sí nǹkan tí ó kàn mí ṣùgbọ́n tó kàn mí mo dá sí torí pé ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí. Bí ìjọba bá wà tí ò sí ẹ̀tọ́ tó yẹ kó ṣe fún aráàlú tí wọ́n dìbò fún tó jẹ́ ìjọba lé. $7 million wọ́n gba 10 million wọ́n gba 11 million lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn dùn mí, ó bà mí lọ́kàn jẹ́ gan pé tá a bá torí pé tó Ọlọ́run gbà fáwa àwa ará àwọn ọmọ tí ń tẹ̀lé wa tó ń ṣààbò fún wa, àwọn tí ò lẹ́ni tí ó tẹ̀lé wọn kọ́. Ìdí nìyí tó mú mi lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn. Ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ débẹ̀ ohun tí mo lọ fún ni pé láti lọ bá pé ṣé gbogbo tí ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí lórí ilẹ̀ wa sọ da, ẹ ti ń gbé pẹ̀lú wa, a dẹ̀ fàyè gbà yín, a bá yín jà, a ṣe nǹkan jàǹbá fún yín. Ọ̀rọ̀ ni mò ń bá Sẹ́ríkì sọ̀rọ̀ làwọn ọmọ rẹ̀ yọ̀bọ̀n sí mi. Mo gba ìbọn yẹn lọ́wọ́ ìkan yọ àké àgbà, ìkejì tún yọ ìbọn mi. Ìyẹn ti ẹ̀yìn ẹni bá wọnú fídíò yẹn tọ́ra fídíò wọn, ó yin ìbọn yẹn sí mi kí n tó lọ́bọ̀ yẹn mọ́ lọ́wọ́. Ẹ bá gbọ́ fídíò rẹ̀ pé ìbọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dáhùn bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n yin ìbọn sí mi ń bẹ̀ kí n tó bájà wá ẹ̀yin pípù yìí tí n bá bájà wá ẹ̀ ní dúró. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ti wá lè wá àtúnṣe sí ọ̀rọ̀ jíjígbé àti pípa àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n wa àtàwọn àǹtí wa àwọn bọ̀dá wa àtàwọn ìyá mi àtàwọn bàbá mi tẹ̀lé wọn olóko mọ́ yé o. Ó fẹ́ tàkẹ́ forílẹ̀ bàbá wa lẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń fà yìí sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn kí sọ̀rọ̀ ọjà. Àwọn kan gbé ẹ wọ́n fẹ́ pa àwọn mùsùlùmí kílọ̀kàn mi kan mùsùlùmí kílọ̀kàn mi kan kírísítẹ̀n kílọ̀kàn mi kan. Gbogbo tá à ń fà yìí èmi ò ní ìdí kankan. Láfíà Yorùbá ni mò ń wá mi ń fẹ́ kankan bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n dúnkokò tọ́pọ̀ jù. Wọ́n dúnkokò ntọ́lọ́hún táwọn tí ń dúnkokò náà mọ̀ pé àwọn ń dúnkokò mọ́ mi. Ṣùgbọ́n ohun tí èyí jẹ́ kí ẹ̀rù bà mí ni pé ó ń bẹ nínú Bíbélì pé tíyẹn bá ń jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ ẹ̀ lórí nǹkan bàbá rẹ̀ tó bá kú síbẹ̀ kò sí nǹkan kan. Torí pé mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe yẹn fúngbà díẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń dúnkokò. Láti bí ìjẹ́ ẹ̀rin tọ́rọ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ń sìn ni wọ́n ti ń pè mí, àwọn fẹ́ wá wọ́n máa arrest mi, wọ́n ti ń send message oríṣiríṣi pé wọ́n fẹ́ wá gbé mi nílé. Ẹ̀rù kankan ò sì bà mí. Gbogbo àwọn ọba tó wà ń bẹ pátápátá inú wọn dùn, wọ́n sì fọwọ́ sí pé ìyà tí ń jẹ àwọn yìí ti tó, àwọn òfin Fúlàní lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá wọn mọ́, pípa ti tó, àwọn tí wọ́n ń pa iná làwọn jọba lé lórí. Tí fídíò sì wà, àwọn ọba gan ni wọ́n ń pè mí pé ìyà tí ń jẹ àwọn yìí ti tó, àwọn tí wọ́n ń pa àwọn ọmọ àwọn tó ń pa yìí lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la àwọn náà làwọn sì jọba lé lórí. Ó ti tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Kò sí àgbààgbà Yorùbá tínú rẹ̀ ò dùn sí pé kò sínú àgbà ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n náà ni, ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n bàbá wa ni. Inú tí wọ́n ní òdùn bí wọ́n ṣe ń pa wá bí Fúlàní ṣe ń jí wa gbé tó ń gbowó lálá lọ́wọ́ wa nínú òdùn. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n kán bá mọ́ yọ wọ́n nípò ibi tí wọ́n wà. Ṣé mọ̀ wípé nígbà tí wọ́n ń jí àwọn aráàlú gàngàn gbé tí wọ́n ń pa wọ́n tẹ́nìkankan sọ̀rọ̀ ńgbọ̀ ya wọ́n lọ jí ọmọ ọba gangan gbé, ọmọ ọba tí ń bẹ lórí yẹn gangan lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ wọ́n jí ọmọ bàbá gangan gbé fúnra ẹ̀ tó fún kó díẹ̀ bí wọ́n sì gba 4 million lọ́wọ́ bàbá kan tó gbọ́ ọmọ bàbá fún bàbá àwọn Fúlàní. Torí pé ńgbọ̀ ọba ya ayé ti gba àwọn Fúlàní débi pé wọ́n wá gbé ọba fúnra ẹ̀ nú ààfin wọ́n ní kó lọ mú kí gbogbo aráàlú lọ dáwọ́ jọ. Àwa Yorùbá sì sùn a sì dákẹ́ a sì sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn bàbá wa dẹ̀ dákẹ́.
Now, we've all listened to what led to Igboho coming out to tell the international community, the African countries, the Europeans, the United Nations, that the injustice and the crime against the Yoruba people cannot be tolerated by one particular ethnic groups called the Fulanis, fully supported by the former president Tinubu Bakare. But we know what eventually happened. Rather than Buhari to respond to the killings of innocent Yoruba people within the southwest part of Nigeria, Buhari kept muted, quiet, said nothing around these killings. And then eventually Igboho took it upon himself because the state governors in Yoruba land failed to also attend to the many of the killings that was happening in the southwest part of Nigeria. We've had cases of kidnapping, ransom being paid, and if you're lucky, you'll probably be set free. If you're not lucky, you're likely to be killed. And we have a lot of evidence to such of atrocities. I'm going to take us back to a particular video where after Igboho spoke in January 2021 and went further to kick Fulani Seriki Gagan out of that particular area. Of the reasons why he came out, not because he wanted to. We expected the government of the day, President Buhari, to have made sure that our life was well protected security-wise. But since the government was not available, Igboho had no choice to stand against these Fulani terrorists operating within the Southwest. We are going somewhere this morning, and I'm not going to be long on this broadcast, but I want to put it on record that I have just watched a video a minute ago before coming on air from Pastor Tunde Bakare, and that's why I have come out quickly as one of the spokesman of Igboho, because Igboho can speak on himself, but as a spokesman and as also one that believes in the right to self-determination and the insecurity that is taking place in Yoruba land, to respond back to Pastor Tunde Bakare so that we can put it on record from what he has said on an interview that he granted in one of the mainstream media back home. But before we give you the video of what Pastor Tunde Bakare said, I want us to have a recollection and reflection of what led to Igboho coming out because of the insecurity across Yoruba land. There's a video we're going to show you now. This was after Igboho left Igogon in January. This was February, March, April, May, June, July. It took Buhari, the Sultan of Sokoto, the Northern Kabas, 6 months to prepare back for Igboho for what he did to the Fulani Caliphate that has established in the Igogon area. It took them 6 months to prepare how they were going to kill, destroy, and make sure that Igboho does not go scot-free. So that by killing Igboho, that would not allow any other Yoruba across Yoruba land to stand up for any crime against the Fulani again in the southwest. Maybe gbogbo yín ò mọ tó ṣẹlẹ̀. In tó fẹ́ ṣe ní July 1st was to send a message back sí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé that is if they are able to kill Igboho, Buhari, and Sultan of Sokoto, and many others, some Yorubas that were involved in this, crime. If Igboho was killed on that fateful night, no Yoruba sons or daughter would dare come up again to challenge the Fulani across the southwest. But that failed. And that means we are still having the strength to push further that the insecurity in Yoruba land must be looked into. The insecurity in Yoruba land must not be left just for Igboho, but also from our kings, from our governors, all the Yoruba politicians. Their right to protect everybody in Yoruba land is their responsibility. Whether we are still asking for Yoruba nation, whether a country is not yet established, for as long as Nigeria is still existing, it is the right of every individual to come out and declare that the southwest part of Yoruba land can no longer live in the way that it has been, because the crime against these Yoruba people can no longer be tolerated. So the video we're going to watch now was the 6 months after Igboho challenged the status quo of the Fulani in Yoruba land. It has never been done before that somebody will rise up from the Yoruba land and said it straight to the face of Muhammadu Buhari that you would dare not use your Fulani clan to subjugate, maim, destroy the Yoruba farmers and their livelihood for those that wants to travel from one end of Yoruba land to the other, being kidnapped by Yoruba people, by Fulani people, being kidnapped, killed by Fulani people. There are many atrocities that has played out for the 8 years of Buhari and that is still going on under the present administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as well. This was one out of the many of the videos after that invasion, the killings of 2 innocent Yoruba men, Alhaji Fatai. Buhari refused to give us the body until he died and passed on the presidency to Tinubu. Tinubu has not released the body yet as I speak to us. Buhari refused to release the body of Adogon, the business partner of Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho. Tinubu has not done the same as I speak as well. As I speak, Buhari body, if I am right, has touched down back to Castina. That means the family of Buhari want his body back to be buried. But the same Buhari could not give us the body of those 2 Yoruba men, Tokpasinule Igboho. I am using Channels Television, a video that was projected after July 1st, and I want us to watch how Buhari sent killer Fulani military, DSS, and the police. And like I said, also on record, there were some Yorubas that were involved in this planning of 6 months to kill Igboho and myself. Because it was not just Igboho. If I was in the house, I would have been killed. I would not have the privilege to sit here and be speaking to you. Because Adogon was in the house, he was killed. Alhaji Fatai was in the house, he was killed. 12 innocent Yoruba including a female, were subjugated, were maltreated in Abuja for a very long time until we were able to get them out of the dungeon of the Fulani because we have the right to make sure that they were not going to be in Abuja because they haven't committed a crime. But it took some time. I want us to watch this video for those of us that are watching us, and those that are not watching, that are just listening, follow this particular video. My name is Olami Koike. It's coming up to 2 minutes to 4 a.m. on the 15th of July 2025. We're putting on record to respond back to what Pastor Tunde Bakare have said in a particular video that has reached our desk, where he said, and I quote, that Buhari is not aware of what happened at Igboho's house. I will give you the video evidence of such, but for now, let's listen to this. So what you're watching, the blood of Igboho's house turned upside down. Two people were killed. You can see the blood on the floor. Wọ́n gbé bọ́dì yẹn lọ títí di wákàtí wọ́n release bọ́dì yẹn fún wa. Properties were destroyed. Vehicles were destroyed. Humans were killed. Animals were killed. They were not meant to leave anything untouched, but they were meant to kill Igboho and anybody found in the house. But unfortunately, because a video went live from Igboho's house, they could not find Igboho. Igboho managed to get himself out, but yet others in the house, bullets. This is Igboho's house in Soka, Ibadan. This house was not paid by the government, yet the government came in and destroyed. You can see the penetration of the bullet from outside coming straight into the building. Igboho was told by the government of Buhari said Igboho was preparing, arms ammunition from his house. There's no evidence to back that. The reason why Fulani planned for Igboho for 6 months is because Igboho kicked out the terrorist Fulani Seriki Gogon out of the location where he was operating and killing innocent Yoruba people. So in ten wo níwájú yín, òun ni ilé Igboho tí wọ́n attack. I would have been killed if I was in the house, but unfortunately, I was not in the house. All the crime, this is Igboho's living room where many visitors come in and out. Look at how the house was turned upside down. Buhari's government was asked to pay 20 billion naira, but another Fulani judge upturned that and refused to pay because they don't believe that they have the right to pay Igboho because Igboho already kicked out a Fulani terrorist out of Igagon. What you're watching is Igboho's living room. This was July 1st, 2021, after the invasion from the Fulani terrorist Muhammadu Buhari that he will not die properly even if he has died. Many people that are saying that why are we speaking to the ills of the dead? Maybe you forgot that Igboho would have been killed by the same Fulani man that just died. Yet, Igboho did not die, but we lost two Yoruba sons and daughters. So we will not wish Buhari a good straight to wherever he's going in the hell. He will burn more in the hell. His children will cry, they will suffer the pain that Yoruba people are suffering. The wife will suffer, they will cry for the pain that Yoruba people are going through, not just the Igbo, but the millions of people within the Southwest that Buhari made hell out of us. The children will cry. Death will approach each one of them as well. So in ten wo yìí, òun ni gbogbo how channels were given privileged access to the property in the morning. Because if channels does not have this in their archive, you might say that we have dotted the video, that we have done some magic to it. So what you're watching, because some of you have forgotten how Buhari wanted to kill Igboho, but you are now crying out that we are coming out to say, Buhari, death is good for you. Death will be good for all the people that were involved in the massacre and the killings of innocent Yoruba people in the southwest part of Nigeria. Now, you have watched it, and that is just for me to put it on record. Let's come back to now. Kini Pastor Tunde Bakare. So, who is Pastor Tunde Bakare? Pastor Tunde Bakare is well known within the society. He's a pastor. He's not just a pastor, he's also an influential when it comes to his relationship with Buhari. We know how they have worked together to contest together when Buhari was under the CPC. We know the kind of cordial relationship that the two have together. But something, and the reason why I have come out is because of what Pastor Tunde Bakare said. We know Pastor Tunde Bakare very well, but the question is it true that Buhari, according to Pastor Tunde Bakare, Buhari is not aware of the invasion, the attack to Igboho's house on the 1st of July, according to Pastor Tunde Bakare? These are just one out of the many headlines, but I have the video. I'm going to be sharing that. You can see from this, the Nation newspaper, Buhari was fair to all. That means Buhari was fair to Igboho, Buhari was fair to the Yoruba people and all other indigenous Nigerians across Nigeria. Buhari was fair, the same Buhari that shut down the Yoruba borders, the same Buhari that massacred many people, the same Buhari that destroyed the democracy in the 80s and made a coup, the same Buhari that allowed Fulani to invade every part of Nigeria today with El Rufai, the Sultan of Sokoto, and the rest of them. So, Taban sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa pé we are facing enormous insecurity in Yoruba land today. One of the reasons is because Buhari opened the borders for the millions of Fulani people that eventually came through the land borders from Sahel and have now made the southwest part of Yoruba land for Yoruba people not to make it to the farm. And that means Tabatide Oko Ibi Mama Pawa. I am putting it on record for those of you that forgot that the atrocity Buhari committed is not just the 8 years of his fake Agbada democracy, is also while it was the military. Many atrocities and many killings took place under his watch. But Tunde Bakare is protecting and guiding what we don't know, because he's saying now that Buhari was fear. What is the meaning of fear? Buhari Shidada Siran Yoruba. This is coming from Pastor Tunde Bakare, not me. So let me quickly read that before we give you the video evidence, because we have the video evidence of what Tunde Bakare said during an interview with the cable. I'll be telling you that, and I'll be showing you exactly what he said. But for now, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ nǹkan tí Pastor Tunde Bakare said. The founder of the Citadel Global Community Church, Pastor Tunde Bakare, has paid a glowing tribute to the late former President Muhammadu Buhari. I don't think we should be giving any accolade to a Fulani terrorist that killed a Yoruba man in Igboho's house and that destroyed the Yoruba economy by bringing in the Fulani to make sure that they walk across all the Yoruba forest. and make sure that no Yoruba sons and daughters can make it to the farm. Àìmọye àwọn tí Fúlàní gé lọ́wọ́ lénìí tí wọ́n lè fi ọwọ́ yẹn ṣoko mọ́. We cannot live in denial for the atrocity. But if Pastor Tunde Bakare is giving Buhari a glowing tribute, we will not accept such, because we know the atrocity and the crime that Buhari committed, and Buhari would not see anything good even after his death. All his children, the grandchildren, will all cry for the crime they committed, that their father committed in Yoruba land and across Nigeria, because it is also the 5 years today that we lost Tolulope Arotile. I'll be telling you a little bit about her, because some of you forgot that under the watch of Buhari, the first military combat pilot, Tolulope Arotile, was murdered. As I speak to you today, there has not been a criminal trial for Tolulope Arotile. The question is why? Because the Fulani cabal from the Sultan of Sokoto and the criminal Fulani Buhari that died in London, that couldn't die in Daura because he does not have what it takes to give. Let me quickly just, show us a flash coming from my beautiful Dr. Kemiolu Lawyer, where she posted some few hours ago on her Facebook page to remind the gullible Nigerians the amount of crime that Buhari committed. So, gbogbo eléyìí la ṣe ń sọ fún àwọn èèyàn wa pé don't be gullible to believe people like Pastor Tunde Bakare, even if they are man of God. Man of God does tell lies. According to Kemi Ololoyo, doctor, 4 hours ago precisely, R.I.P. Tolulope Arotile. Tolulope Arotile died under the watch of Buhari, a Fulani man. Today marked 5 years, not 4 years. Ọdún márùn-ún. Do you understand what 5 years is? 5 years that a flying officer, Tolulope Arotile, from Ijebu-Ode, the southwest part of Nigeria, a brilliant female Nigerian Air Force combat, the first ever, they have never seen anyone, the first ever, a Yoruba woman, was killed at the age of 24. The Nigerian Air Force combat helicopter pilot was mowed down by two brothers, Namahi and David Adejo, who reversed their car, according to the government, into her as a pedestrian on the 14th of July 2020. Today is the 15th. So, depending on the time zone when Kemi Ololoyo was putting this out, Dr. Kemi Ololoyo, we know that it is 5 years already. But what is shocking is that Maher was charged with causing death by dangerous driving, while David was charged with negligent conduct. But the two brothers, however, pleaded not guilty and were subsequently granted bail. Do you understand that? They were granted bail. Just go. And they arranged 4 years later, August 2024, Namahi already had a case of culpable homicide on him, but he was still given a bail. Many Yoruba people that are in the prison today and have not even seen the access to get to the court for petty things, you will wonder, what such and reason for such. Tolulope Arotile was up this clearing of the bandit and the terrorist Fulani from the forest then. After investigating the case, according to Dr. Kemi Ololoyo, I appealed to President Buhari to launch the Air Force probe. Just like if Pastor Tunde Bakare is saying that Buhari was not aware of the invasion of Igboho's house, the question is, why did Buhari not probe Igboho's attack on the 1st of July? Tó bá náà wọ́n mọ̀ kankan nípa ẹ̀, kí ló dé tí Buhari ò ṣe enquiries pé kó lọ báwọn wádìí ẹni tó lọ ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn? But definitely we know that he did it, so he's not going to do any inquiry, just like he never did inquiry to probe why Tolulope Arotile was murdered. Nothing was done. Here is Toluloparotile giving the same Fulani Buhari a tour on the new helicopter pilot, the same pilot. You can see Toluloparotile there with Buhari, the same people that killed her. You can see them there. No justice. So when people say they are going to get justice for somebody in Nigeria, I ask, who is going to give you the justice? You're wasting your time. Let's go back to now, Pastor Tunde Bakare. Kini Baba Tunde Bakare sọ lórí Buhari. I want us to listen to this quickly, and it's courtesy of the cable bringing this video out to us at the early hours of this morning because the broadcast is coming to an end very soon. This is what Pastor Tunde Bakare said, but the write-up on it, Tunde Bakare on Buhari, truth be told, òtítọ́ ó fẹ́ jáde lẹ́nu wòlíì Pastor Tunde Bakare. I had the opportunity to speak to him privately many times. Ó lóun láǹfààní àti bá Fúlàní terrorist Buhari sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà níbi kọ̀rọ̀ àti gbangba. I will not go public against anyone. Ó lóun ò ní go public against Buhari, who I had close relationship with him. What are the relationship? He has not mentioned. Ṣó fúnyàwó fúnra wọn ni? As Buhari paid him some money, as we don't know, because when this relationship comes with many things. It comes with offers, it comes with incentives. We all have different relationship, and I'm sure you know when you say you are in a relationship, you must give and take in any relationship. So is Tunde Bakare now protecting this Fulani man that died in the face of millions of Yoruba people to say, no. Buhari ò mọ kankan nípa ilé Ìgbòho, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, ẹ má bú Buhari mọ́, ẹ fi Buhari lẹ̀ lọ́rùn. I don't know, but he spoke, and we're going according to what he has said. Normally, I will first present it behind the scene. On the few occasions that I spoke loud outside of the private discussion, ó ní èyí tó jẹ́ kóun jáde pé kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Buhari, eléyìí ò ń ṣe tí mo lè bẹ́ wá sọ nínú kọ̀rọ̀ nínú yàrá based on our relationship. Màá sọ eléyìí ní gbangba ni. I spoke loud outside of the private discussion was what happened in tó ṣẹlẹ̀ in Chief Sunday Igboho's house, the 1st of July 2021. I was really livid and remember saying, "Oh, ní ever rí mi mọ́ ìwọ Buhari." Ó dà pé àwọn Fúlàní wá gbọ́n tí Pastor Tunde Bakare sọ nígbà yẹn. Ó ní, according to Pastor Tunde Bakare, Buhari sent for me, and then he sent for me and said, ó ní Buhari sọ pé, ǹjẹ́ o mọ̀, Tunde Bakare, do you know? Ǹjẹ́ o mọ̀ pé I know nothing about it. This now is where I am coming to ask Pastor Tunde Bakare, are you saying this because of your relationship with Buhari? Or are you saying this because I don't know? But what I know is that if you had this relationship with Buhari, and Buhari confirmed in you pé òun ò mọ kankan nípa the invasion of Igboho's house that could have killed Igboho, why then did Buhari not launch a probe on the reason why the attack on Igboho's house took place? Sorry, this video was projected on TVC News, but the cable is the one where I'm picking it from, just for record purpose. And we know TVC is another Tinubu venture using the state money to run it as it stands today. Now, let's listen to Pastor Tunde Bakare. I will not interrupt it. This broadcast will come to an end in 15 minutes. I just want to put it on record that we got the message from Pastor Tunde Bakare, and I'm asking him again, why are you defending Buhari after his death? Is it because of relationship? You said Buhari said, I'm quoting you, that he does not know anything about the invasion that could have killed me myself if I was in the house. 2 people died. The bodies were never returned. Did you ever tell Buhari to return the bodies? to find out where the bodies of Adogon and Alaji Fatai before Buhari left office, because I believe that in 2021 is when you were saying that you had opportunity to speak to Buhari, not after Buhari left the office. Kí ló dé tẹ́ ẹ sọ fún Buhari pé kó wá bí táwọn òkú yẹn wà? Because if you said you spoke out against what happened in Igboho's house, which is good, have you not also tell Igboho, the Buhari, why the bodies were never returned back to us? Let's listen to Pastor Tunde Bakare. My name is Olami Koike, and you're listening to Koike Media on the breaking news coming from what Pastor Tunde Bakare said, that I did not become his running mate in 2015. To be fair, let me also remember this, that it was the same Pastor Tunde Bakare in one of his videos. I don't have that on record to play it now, but I'm sure many of you have listened, that Buhari he saw in the vision where they had a stopover. Buhari came out of the vehicle. He wanted to move the vehicle into a position because they were on the slope. He realized that there was no steering, there was no brakes, there was no gear. And he was asking, how has Buhari been driving this vehicle ever since they've been traveling on that particular journey, according to him? I'm sure many Yoruba people, Nigerians will remember it was the same Pastor Bakari that said so. Pé àwọn ń lọ ibì kan, àwọn wá fẹ́ dé ibi tí àwọn tí ń rìnrìn àjò yẹn, Buhari náà fi gbọ̀nsẹ̀, ó jáde nínú mọ́tò, orí slope làwọn wà, àwọn làwọn wá fi drive mọ́tò yẹn. Àwọn realize pé kò sí steering, brakes àti gbogbo ohun tó jẹ́ kí mọ́tò máa rìn. Àwọn wá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wọn pé báwo ni Buhari ṣe ń wa mọ́tò yìí? But that is not where we are going. Now let's listen to Pastor Tunde Bakare. I know I delayed the video for a reason, but the video will be played right now for us to hear.
Was accused of nepotism, economic mismanagement, insensitive response to insecurity, and some challenges we had in I think it was 2020 during the NSAS protest. In 2021, he also came out publicly responded to counsel at the time.
Well, truth be told, I had opportunity to speak to him very privately many times. And I will not go public against me who I had close relationship with. Normally, I'll first present it behind the scene. Now, one of the two occasions that I spoke loud and I'm outside of see me again while ministry. And then he sent for me and said, do you know I knew nothing about it? I said, I wouldn't know. He said, look, there are so many things that security people would do in which they would take. They would say they were acting on instruction. So there are occasions like that. But
I'm not interested in other parts. Let's go back to that video slightly again. Buhari said, according to Pastor Tunde Bakare, that the relationship, how the relationship works, I don't know. But he said, and I quote, that Buhari said to him, it's like when close in this private conversation after he spoke out loudly. Remember, in public, the attack of Igboho's house. Is now saying to us, after Buhari died in London Clinic, many of you said, I didn't know where Buhari was going to die. Well, eventually, I was the one that exposed the hospital where Buhari was receiving his treatment before anybody told you, and that is a record. On the 9th of July 2025, Koike Media went to the clinic in London where Buhari was receiving his treatment and where he eventually died. I will not give you more information, but the question I'm asking the British government is, did Buhari die on the day you told us he died? I will leave that for the public to ask the British government. Did the late former president, as I speak to you today, the British Prime Minister have not said anything about the death of Buhari, yet we know that David Lammy spoke just briefly. The King Charles has not said nothing. Imagine the country that colonized Nigeria for many years and the president that was trained as a military in Sandhurst, the president that was receiving a treatment in their country. King Charles has not said anything. King Charles has not released a statement from the Buckingham Palace. Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, have not said a word of condolences to Buhari. The question is, are they protecting something that we need to know? Are they telling us that, well, we can't give you condolence twice? I don't know. I'm asking questions as a journalist. And those questions I'll be asking the British Prime Minister when I have the privilege. But let's focus back, because of my time constraint, with what Pastor Tunde Bakare said again.
Test. In 2021,
In 2021, the journalist is asking Pastor Tunde Bakare, ní 2021, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gan sí ilé Ìgbòho? Kí lẹ mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀? Ó náà òun mọ̀ kọ́kọ́ nípa ẹ̀, but òun bí Buhari, ọmọ Fúlàní. Buhari sàn kankan fún òun. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ gbọ́ tí Pastor Tunde Bakare sọ. Ó ní Buhari ránṣẹ́ sí yín o. Òun mọ̀ kọ́kọ́ nípa ẹ̀ o. Ẹ má blame òun o. Is Pastor Tunde Bakare saying this because of the video Igboho has released? Why is Pastor Tunde Bakare coming out now to protect Buhari and the family? We know that Yoruba are good at this. We know the same with Dele Momodu, having cordial relationship with the Abacha children and the wives. These are all relationship, and relationship comes with a lot of things. I'm sure you know what it comes up with. I don't have to be telling you. Why do Yoruba people come out to defend their enemies against the Yoruba people is the question that many Yoruba people are asking. Kí ló dé tí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, thank you so much. Somebody said, well, you just said it. They can't give condolence twice. King Charles cannot give condolence when the mother has already given condolence, back then. Kí ló dé tí ọmọ Yorùbá máa ń jẹ́ pé àwọn ló máa ń lò back while we are asking for the security of Yoruba land? There are some Yoruba people who doesn't want the security. While we are saying we want Yoruba nation, there are some Yoruba people that are saying, no, we don't want Yoruba nation. We want Nigeria. We want Nigeria. Let's listen again.
also came out publicly to criticize his administration. Did you get to speak with him privately? How do you say he responded?
Well, he has already told us that he had private relationship with Buhari, and we have all the different places where they've traveled together. I don't know what kind of relationship that they have. I have relationship with Igboho. I know, what relationship means. You have relationship with your wife, with your girlfriend. You have relationship with the government where you reside. I have relationship with the UK government here because I've lived there. I'm allowed to do what I'm doing. I will not be able to do this in Nigeria, so I have my freedom here. None of you in Nigeria will never have such a freedom, and you will all die because you will not have access to good hospital like Buhari did. This is why you listen to Koiki Media, because I am the only media that can break it down to you without mixing the word. TVC will not be able to push Pastor Tunde Bakare. I met him once, many years in Tottenham Hill, where he was having, whatever they were doing in the church. This was many years ago. I'm talking about Pastor Tunde Bakare. That was the first time I was meeting in person. Many of you understand what Koiki Media stand for in the long run. A minimal review bí tí Buhari wà. Even channels, TVC, they might know, but they don't want to tell you. I took my time. You don't believe me because you were asking questions. Is Buhari inside it? Now you saw that everybody's coming out of that same hospital where Buhari died. Whether he died according to what they were telling you. But I'm asking the British government, did Buhari die the same day you told us he died from that hospital? Is a question to the British government. We hope we will get an answer to that. Because of my time, I need to quickly push this forward.
To your counsel at the time?
Well, truth be told,
many times means that uncountable in their private. You can see them holding each other, laughing, eating. Relationship means they can hug each other. You can see it there. They are cordial relationship. They're looking into their faces. You can see in the camera. But what happened to the Igboho's house?
Not go public against
He doesn't
anyone
like
who
to go public when he has close relationship with somebody. I don't just want to go and speak outside to the public, because when I speak, people will pick up my voice. But he's speaking now because he's defending the Fulani Caliphate.
relationship with, first presented by.
He spoke at one or two occasions. One of those occasions is Igboho's house invasion by the Fulani terrorists, conducted 6 months after Igboho went to Igagan. I was at Igagan. I could have been in the house as well, but because of other things, I was not in the house. Not that I don't want to be in the house. I could have been killed in that same house on the 1st of July, and I will not be here speaking to you. But we give thanks to the gods of Yoruba land for protecting us, and also those that died. We pray for their souls. Did Pastor Tunde Bakare now ask for the dead body? I don't know. Me, I have to name that, because I want to know what more did Pastor Tunde Bakare told Buhari after Buhari said what he said to him.
Was what happened in Igboho's, Sunday Igboho's house.
Because some of you are babies, you are just coming on the social media because you don't understand what Igboho is fighting for and the Koiki media. You think that we are fighting for our own selfish interests. I have electricity. I'm living a very small little flat. I'm enjoying my life. I have my freedom. You never see freedom in your life if you don't allow us to free ourselves from Nigeria. Many of your politicians, they are all moving around in London, dying in London. There are many of them dying in London. You don't want Yoruba nation. You think I am fighting for myself and my children. You will all face the consequence if you don't allow us to free ourselves as we are pushing it right now.
I was really livid, and I remember saying, "You will never see me again."
He told Buhari, never anymore. What did Buhari do to convince him? Buhari called him in. Ìbígbòho lásán nìyẹn. Tá a bá pa ọmọ Yorùbá kan, ọmọ Yorùbá mi tún pọ̀.
Well, ministry. And he sent for me.
So that means the funny man had what Pastor Tunde Bakare said. And said, no, Pastor Tunde Bakare, come.
Do you know I knew nothing about it?
The question then is, how many things happen in Nigeria that Buhari never knew about? The question now is, was this the right Buhari or the fake Buhari? So you can see why we are saying that this criminal country put together by Britain needs to be broken to pieces. But some of you don't understand what Britain stands for. I will leave that for you to remember that David Lammy told you that it will take 50 years. By 2075, Nigeria will be a better place. Then all your politicians won't have to come to London for medical treatment.
I said, I wouldn't know. It's under your watch. He said, look, there are so many things that security people would do, initiatives that they would take.
Outside the shore of his fatherland because Buhari said he doesn't know anything about it. Is that the reason why Tinubu has not said anything? That since Buhari said he doesn't know anything about it, who then gave the order? This is where I'm going to be ending the broadcast. Ta ló gbé order síta pé kó lọ pa Igboho, kó lọ pa Koiki Media, kó lọ pa gbogbo àwọn tó bá wà nínú ilé? Who gave the order for the attack on Igboho's house on the 1st of July 2021. Who gave the order? I don't know whether we can still get the answer from the Pastor Tunde Bakare. Bí àwọn drill Buhari dáadáa, reminding you again that as at now, I don't know whether that will be updated in the morning. The British government have not yet officially gave condolence to Buhari's death. I've been monitoring that in the last few hours before I went to bed. I will monitor it again this morning. I've gone on the official Twitter handle of Kistama, no message from the British government. I've gone on the UK King Charles, no official message from the Buckingham Palace. I told you I lived there with them for 27 years. Now I understand why they don't want Nigeria to break. But David Lammy, I've spoken. Who is David Lammy? Is he a member of the Labour Party? Is the Secretary of State that went to Nigeria and told us after we delivered a letter that we want to leave Nigeria, that we shouldn't leave Nigeria. Nigeria will be a better place by 2075. I will be 97 years old. How old will you be? Add 50 years to your age. The British government wants you to stay for Nigeria till 50 years. So if you're 20 years old now, you'll be 70. So continue to say, Koiki, shut up. Igboho, shut up. Babakitoye, shut up. We don't want security. Our life is better. Add 50 years to your age. You will then understand why you need to let Nigeria to break. Continue to put sentiment to it. Bomb bastard all over the place. This is David Lammy. You can see him there from the Caribbean. And what has David Lammy said? Look at the words David Lammy put out. Not much. I can count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 30, 39 words for a country of 200 million people that they colonize, that the president died in London. 200 words, nothing more than that. If you like, make it a year. If you not like, make it a no year. Amazing time to be alive. And I'm grateful that I've taken the role to wake your minds up for my media. I'm losing money, but you will remember me for a very long time. David Lammy said, and I quote 9 hours ago, saddened by the passing of the former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, full stop. It was a defined figure in Nigerian modern history, a steadfast partner to the UK. Look at the word partner. Again, relationship. Partner. Partner. A steadfast partner to the UK. A steadfast partner to the UK. A steadfast partner. I have expressed my condolence to Yusuf Tuga, which I believe is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, yesterday. My thoughts are with Nigerian people. So that means that David Lammy is not speaking as this tweet on behalf of the British government. He's speaking on his own prerogative, not as the British government representative. The same David Lammy wants me to remain in Nigeria for another 50 years. Amazing times in your life. My name is Olami Koike. I'll leave that for everything that I've said. And I hope one day we will find our way out of Nigeria where we can have a better future in a Yoruba country, away from the one that the British created. This is Koike Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Good morning and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.